after they broke up at that point in time, Junosuke Watanabe, he wasn't really done. Poor Louis went off and did some other things. Junosuke, though, he created BiSH, which is the spiritual successor to BiSH, but a little friendlier. BiSH is, their motto was, idol is dead. BiSH's motto is, all you need is punk and love. So a little bit different approach. The other thing with BiSH is musically, much more consistent sound. They keep to the same couple songwriters. It's a very post-punk sound, kind of Fugazi meets Concrete Blonde with maybe some early Flaming Lips thrown in. And they've only been around for a couple years, but they're seeing considerable success. They're actually just recently, earlier, about 10, 12 months ago, signed to a major label, had their first major label album released a couple months ago, which did incredibly well. They are on track to play the Budokan probably by the end of this current year. They announced about a week ago they'll be playing Makahari Messi, which holds about 30,000 people. Notably, that was the venue Baby Metal played just before they played the Budokan. They're all primarily self-taught vocalists and dancers, but some of the interesting things about this group is the lyrics for their songs are actually written by the members. So the music is done by these musicians they work with, but then all the members can write lyrics, and then they choose the lyrics that they like. They're all kind of interesting people, though. Junosuke, when he cast this, really kind of took everyday people who were living kind of normal lives, but were interested in idol. Ayuni D, the most recent member to join, before she auditioned, she was actually working at a gas station. So none of these people were professional idols. A couple had some kind of underground experience, but really kind of a nice collaborative group there. This is one of their songs. This was written by Ling Ling, who's the one with the multicolored hair. Forgot about that part. Yeah, it does Ling Ling flipping you off there. I'm sorry. Yeah, but you can blame Aina for the choreography again. If you go see BiSH, and I highly, highly recommend it. Their shows are just absolutely intense live. But if you're a bit out of shape, kind of like me, you wanna stay away from the front row. This is what happens. If they catch you during this song in the front row. They call this being caught in the asthma pit. The reason for that is what happens next is that they then make you go through a full dance routine with them. When I saw them back in September, they brought up a guy, but they also brought up a girl. It was the first time I'd seen a girl being brought up during this part of the show. It's really kind of interesting again, and you go see them live. What they somewhat unusual also in that their fan base is probably almost 50% male and female, which with female idol groups in Japan, your audience is almost entirely male. And with male idol groups, your audience is entirely female. And this is a real co-ed crowd. So what they do, the manager, Watanabe, before each show, they reserve the front kind of quarter of the floor just for the girls, so that the guys, during the mosh pits, they aren't trampling them and things like that. And he gives them all a lecture. Don't go over there and try to pick up on girls. They're over here to have fun. You guys stay over here. Did you feel so good when that guy finally gets his shirt back on? You're like, oh, it feels so good. You got to work out. I mean, it's. I honestly, this was one of the, when I saw them, it was one of the more intense shows I've been to, and I've been going to metal and punk shows for, since the late '80s, and it's not just that the girls are putting on a performance. They're also leading a performance. And if you see the audience here, everyone is doing something. I saw them on a Friday night before a 3-day weekend in Japan, and every single person was just going out of their minds. And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Yeah.
How does the dancing differ from normal metal shows? Like moshing, the dancing?
There's moshing and things like that, but you'll notice there's very heavy on the ainote. So you notice there's lots of arm movements, lots of jumping, lots of chanting, and those sorts of things. So there's kind of a mosh pit going at the same time, but there's also all that kind of synchronized crowd interaction that you see at more typical idol shows is happening at the same time. So it's really, really something. So. And as far as controversy goes, BiSH is the only controversy they're really stirring up at this point in time is that since they've gone major label, some of their songs are about as punk as a kitten.
Sounds like a Magical Girl anime opening.
Yeah. So they're getting a bit of flack for this going this route, but Aina's voice though, it's just anything with that in it, I'm okay with. So. 行かなくちゃ化け物だっていつか星が瞬く夜